In recent months, increasingly strange discussions have begun circulating inside Silicon Valley technology circles, suggesting that the Terapab project, officially presented as a giant factory for producing chips for artificial intelligence, may actually be something far more large-scale. According to several analysts, as well as former employees of Tesla and ex-AI contractors, Elon Musk is allegedly preparing the infrastructural foundation for a technology that many are calling the next stage of civilization, Tesla's own quantum supercomputer. So far, there has been no official confirmation, and Musk himself continues to publicly speak only about the development of AI, robotics, and next-generation data centers. But the more details that emerge around Terapab, the stronger the feeling among experts becomes that Tesla is not simply building a factory, but laying the foundation for a future computing system capable of changing the entire global technological balance. The idea itself sounds insane. Many people still perceive Tesla exclusively as a car company. Some see it as an electric vehicle manufacturer, others as the creator of Optimus robots, and others as a competitor to OpenAI through xAI. But if you look deeper, it becomes clear that over the past several years, Elon Musk has become literally obsessed with one thing: computing power. According to insiders, there has long been an opinion inside xAI that the winner will not be the company with the best AI, but the one with the most powerful computing center on the planet. That is why Musk is investing billions of dollars into data centers, chips, energy infrastructure, and server manufacturing. And that is exactly why the Terapab project is causing so much concern among competitors. According to leaks published by several American technology outlets, Terapab is being created as a fully vertically integrated system. In other words, Tesla wants to control absolutely everything, from AI chip production and cooling systems to energy generation and server clusters. Some journalists are already calling it Elon Musk's technological Manhattan Project. And this is where things become especially interesting. Several analysts connected to US defense contractors noticed unusual equipment purchases that may indirectly be linked to cryogenic technologies, the same technologies used in modern quantum computers. These involve ultra-low temperatures close to absolute zero. Such systems are necessary for the operation of qubits, the foundation of quantum computing. What is a quantum supercomputer? To understand why this topic is beginning to create near hysteria, it is first necessary to realize just how different this technology is from ordinary computers. All modern devices, from smartphones to NVIDIA supercomputers, operate using bits. A bit can only be either 0 or 1. A quantum computer works differently. Its foundation is the qubit, which can simultaneously exist in multiple states at once. To an ordinary person, this sounds like science fiction, but it is precisely this characteristic that makes quantum systems potentially millions of times more powerful than conventional machines for certain tasks. According to experts, the appearance of a full-fledged quantum supercomputer would be comparable to the arrival of the internet or even nuclear weapons. It would not simply be a new technology, it would be an entirely new era of computation. Today, training the world's most powerful neural networks requires gigantic data centers, hundreds of thousands of GPUs, and colossal amounts of energy. xAI is already building the Colossus system, considered one of the most powerful AI clusters in the world. But even that may not be enough to create true AGI, human-level artificial intelligence. Quantum computing could potentially dramatically accelerate some processes related to AI training. That is why many believe Musk may see quantum technologies as the key to creating superintelligence. Insiders claim that the problem of the computation wall has long been discussed inside xAI. This is the moment when conventional GPUs stop providing sufficient performance growth. And if that is really the case, Tesla may be searching for an entirely new path. Not simply more powerful chips, but an entirely new architecture of computation. Some former NVIDIA engineers are already openly saying that the race toward AGI will almost inevitably push the world's largest companies toward quantum computing in the future. And if Musk is truly preparing for this earlier than everyone else, the consequences could be historic. Imagine a world in which Tesla creates the first truly functional quantum supercomputer. What would that mean? First of all, it would instantly transform the company from a car manufacturer into the most influential technological structure on the planet. Today, Tesla is already worth hundreds of billions of dollars, but analysts believe that the appearance of a quantum supercomputer could raise the company's value to several trillion, because such a system would provide an advantage in almost every field, from artificial intelligence to medicine and defense technologies. The main reason why quantum computing is considered so important lies in its ability to model incredibly complex processes. For example, the creation of new batteries. Today, battery development requires thousands of real experiments and years of research. A quantum supercomputer would be able to simulate material behavior at the atomic level. This means Tesla could potentially create next-generation batteries dozens of times faster than competitors. Batteries with a range of 2,000 kilometers, charging within minutes, almost complete absence of degradation. Some analysts are convinced that batteries may become one of the main reasons for Musk's interest in quantum computing. But this is only the beginning. The second field is humanoid robots like Optimus. Today, the main problem with robots is not hardware, not motors, not batteries. It is understanding the world. A robot must analyze millions of variables simultaneously. It must recognize objects, plan movements, and predict the consequences of actions, all in real time. Quantum computing could potentially accelerate processes related to behavioral modeling and AI training many times over. Some experts openly say that a true mass-market human-level humanoid robot is almost impossible without a new generation of computing systems. That is why many have begun linking the Optimus project with Terapab. If Tesla is truly building quantum infrastructure, it may not be intended only for AI chatbots. It could become the brain of Tesla's future robot army. According to sources close to XAI, the term physical intelligence is being used more and more frequently inside the company. This is the idea that AI should not simply talk, but understand the physical world the way humans do. That requires gigantic computational power. The appearance of such technology would also completely change the artificial intelligence market. Today, OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, and Meta mainly compete through GPU quantity and model quality. But if Tesla gains a quantum advantage, the entire balance could collapse. Some analysts already compare this to a situation where one country suddenly acquired nuclear weapons before everyone else. This would not simply be a new product, it would be strategic superiority. Governments are especially alarmed by another side of quantum computing: cryptography, the modern internet, banking systems, military communications, and even state secrets are protected through encryption. But a powerful quantum computer could potentially break many existing security methods. That is why the US, China, and the EU are investing billions of dollars into the development of post-quantum cryptography. If Tesla suddenly approaches the creation of a powerful quantum system, it would trigger an enormous reaction from authorities. Some sources claim that officials in Washington are already closely monitoring the Terapab project. Officially, Tesla is still considered a private company focused on AI and robotics. But if it turns out that quantum infrastructure is being built inside the project, the situation could change dramatically, because quantum technologies have long been considered an area of national security. According to rumors, several US defense contractors have already attempted to obtain additional information about equipment suppliers connected to Terapab. What is also interesting is that Musk himself has repeatedly hinted at the importance of a computational revolution. In interviews, he has said that humanity is moving toward an era in which AI will become more important than most physical technologies. And for that, an entirely new level of computing power is required. Some Tesla supporters believe that Musk is gradually building infrastructure for a system that will unite XAI, Optimus robots, Starlink, satellite data centers, and future quantum computing technologies. If this is true, then we are no longer talking about just a company. This is an attempt to build a completely new type of technological ecosystem. But how realistic is the creation of a Tesla quantum supercomputer? This is where expert opinions begin to diverge. Many point out that even IBM, Google, and other industry leaders still face enormous problems. Qubits are incredibly unstable. The slightest vibrations, heat, or electromagnetic interference can destroy computations. That is why modern quantum computers look like gigantic golden cryogenic installations. Most of the system exists not for computation itself, but for cooling. However, supporters of the Tesla theory believe Musk has one major advantage: money and infrastructure. Tesla is already building gigantic energy systems, data centers, and AI clusters. That means the company could potentially afford large-scale experiments unavailable to most startups. Some analysts are convinced that Musk may take a completely different path and attempt to combine traditional AI superclusters with quantum accelerators. In that case, a Tesla quantum computer would not replace conventional GPUs, but instead complement them. This is a very important point. Many people mistakenly think that a quantum computer is simply faster. In reality, it is effective only for specific tasks such as chemistry simulation, optimization, cryptography, and training certain types of AI. Therefore, the most realistic scenario is that Tesla creates a hybrid system where conventional AI servers work together with quantum modules. What would happen to the world if such a technology truly appeared? Experts say the consequences could be enormous. First, a new technological arms race would begin. China would immediately increase investments in quantum research. The United States would tighten technological controls. Nvidia, Google, and Microsoft would urgently begin developing their own alternatives. The semiconductor market would quite literally explode. Second, the labor market would change dramatically, because the emergence of super-powerful AI combined with Optimus robots could automate a huge number of professions. Tesla already says it sees Optimus as a mass-market product cheaper than a car. But if robots gain access to a new generation of AI, their capabilities would increase many times over. Some analysts even believe that the appearance of a quantum supercomputer would mark the moment humanity effectively enters a completely new technological era, something like the beginning of the machine age, because AI would then be able to create new technologies, design medicines, simulate materials, manage robotic factories, and much more. And once again, everything comes back to Musk. Many already describe him as a person attempting to build the infrastructure of future civilization. Electric vehicles, satellite internet, spacecraft, robots, artificial intelligence, and now, possibly, quantum computing as well. According to rumors, Tesla has a long-term plan extending across decades. Some insiders claim that Musk sees AGI and quantum technologies as the foundation for colonizing Mars, because managing autonomous Martian bases would require unbelievable computational power. Robots would need to build infrastructure, extract resources, and sustain life without constant human involvement. When could a presentation of such technology happen? This is where the discussion becomes the most speculative. Some analysts believe Tesla may begin showing the first hints of such technology within the next few years. Others are convinced that a fully functional quantum supercomputer is still at least 10 to 15 years away. But almost everyone agrees on one thing. If any company is capable of unexpectedly breaking into this field, it is Tesla and xAI, because Musk has a habit of entering industries that initially seem impossible. At one time, people laughed at the idea of a private space company. Then SpaceX came to dominate the space industry. People said Tesla electric vehicles would never become mainstream. Today, Tesla has transformed the automotive market. Many doubted Starlink. Now it is the largest satellite internet system in the world. That is exactly why the rumors surrounding Terapab are generating so much attention. Musk has already made the impossible possible too many times. If even part of these rumors turns out to be true, Terapab could go down in history as the place where a new computational era for humanity began. And at that point, Tesla would stop being just an automotive company. It would become the center of the technological infrastructure of the 21st century. But the most alarming part of the entire story is not even the quantum supercomputer itself. It is the way Musk may try to merge all of his companies into a single unified system. Because if you look closely at the recent actions of Tesla, xAI, SpaceX, and Neuralink, it increasingly feels like they are all gradually moving in the same direction. A few years ago, these looked like separate projects: electric vehicles on one side, space on another, robots separately, artificial intelligence separately. But now analysts increasingly argue that Musk may be building a single technological ecosystem where each company reinforces the others. And if a quantum supercomputer truly emerges inside this system, the consequences would go far beyond a typical technological breakthrough. According to several former Tesla employees, the idea of a unified brain for all Musk systems has long been discussed inside the company. It sounds almost like science fiction, but the concept itself is logically consistent. Imagine a gigantic next-generation computing center running on a combination of AI clusters and quantum modules. This center would simultaneously train Optimus, manage Tesla autonomous vehicles, optimize Tesla energy power grids, analyze Starlink satellite data, and simulate SpaceX Mars missions. In effect, it would be a digital nervous system for Musk's entire infrastructure. This is exactly why Terapab is causing such concern among competitors, because the project may not be just a chip factory, but the foundation of a new type of computational civilization. Some insiders even claim that within xAI, there are already discussions about future Tesla data centers functioning as a single global intelligence distributed between Earth and orbit. Yes, it sounds insane, but 10 years ago, Starlink also sounded like science fiction. Analysts are paying special attention to how rapidly Musk has accelerated AI infrastructure development. According to Western media reports, xAI deployed one of the largest AI clusters in the world in just a matter of months. Many engineers were shocked by the speed at which Colossus was built. Some experts call it the most aggressive expansion of computational infrastructure in the history of the tech industry. And this raises the key question: why does Musk need such massive capacity so quickly? The official answer is the development of Grok and competition with OpenAI. But some analysts believe this is only the first stage, because training large language models may only be the beginning. The real goal could be far more ambitious, such as creating artificial intelligence capable of controlling the physical world. Not just a chatbot, but a system that understands space, physics, materials, manufacturing, and human behavior. According to rumors, this is exactly the direction currently prioritized inside Optimus. The robot must learn not to follow predefined scripts, but to behave like a human, adapt to new situations, improvise, and make independent decisions. But the problem is that such a level of intelligence requires enormous computational resources. This is exactly why the topic of quantum technology keeps resurfacing around Tesla. Some experts believe Musk may attempt to achieve something no one has done before: the first truly commercially useful quantum system, not a laboratory experimental setup, but a working platform integrated into AI infrastructure. This is extremely important. Today, most quantum computers exist mainly as research projects. They impress scientists but do not yet transform everyday life. If Tesla manages to turn quantum computing into a practical tool for AI, batteries, and robotics, it would be a revolution. That is why some investors are already cautiously comparing Terapab to the early days of the internet. Back then, many people also did not understand why the world needed massive server capacity. But later, the internet changed everything. A similar situation is now unfolding around AI and quantum technologies. While most people still see it as a distant scientific field, insiders in the industry are already beginning to understand that the next global technological leader will likely be determined in this race. It is also interesting that in recent years, Musk has increasingly been talking not about products, but about infrastructure. He constantly repeats that civilization is constrained by limits in energy, computation, production, and the speed of technological development. And if we look at Tesla's actions, it becomes clear that the company is trying to address all of these areas simultaneously. Gigafactories produce batteries. Tesla Energy builds power systems. Starlink creates a global communication network. Optimus is intended to automate production. xAI provides intelligence. And Terapab could potentially become the computational heart of the entire system. Some insiders claim that within the company there are already discussions about next-generation data centers that would consume so much energy that dedicated power plants would have to be built for them. And here again, the connection to Tesla Energy appears. If Musk is truly moving toward building the computational infrastructure of the future, he will need his own energy ecosystem. This is why many analysts believe Tesla is gradually transforming from an automaker into an infrastructure technology empire. It is especially interesting to observe competitors' reactions. According to several US publications, after rumors about Terapab, major market players began sharply increasing investments in quantum research. Google has long been working on its own quantum processors. IBM continues to develop Quantum System 1. Microsoft is investing billions into Azure Quantum. China, meanwhile, treats quantum computing as a matter of national security. But the problem with most companies is that they develop quantum technologies separately from mass AI and robotics. Tesla, however, could potentially merge all of this into a single system. And this is exactly what is alarming the market, because if quantum computing becomes part of Musk's AI ecosystem, the company's advantage could become enormous. Some analysts directly say that in such a case, Tesla risks becoming a technological equivalent of the oil giants of the 20th century, except that instead of oil, the main resource would be computation. Another key issue is the cost of such a project. According to expert estimates, building a full-scale world-class quantum supercomputer could require tens or even hundreds of billions of dollars due to the extreme complexity of the hardware. But this is where Musk may have an advantage over many competitors. Tesla already knows how to scale complex technologies. SpaceX has managed to dramatically reduce the cost of space launches, and gigafactories have shown that the company can build massive industrial complexes faster than most rivals. If anyone is likely to turn quantum computing from laboratory science into mass infrastructure, Tesla is indeed one of the leading candidates. Some futurists even believe that a quantum supercomputer could become for Musk what the iPhone became for Apple, a technology that completely transforms the company's status, because after the emergence of such a system, Tesla could effectively influence almost every key sector: medicine, transport, energy, robotics, artificial intelligence, and space technology. The topic of medicine is especially widely discussed. Quantum computing could radically accelerate the development of new drugs. Today, creating a medicine takes years, as millions of molecules and chemical combinations must be tested. A quantum computer could model these processes much faster. Some analysts believe that in the future, such systems could discover treatments for diseases that are currently considered practically incurable. And here, Musk's name appears once again. Because if Tesla or xAI truly gain access to such computational capabilities, the company could move far beyond the automotive business. Some investors already say that Musk is gradually building a company of everything, a structure that would be present across almost all critical technologies of the future. At the same time, it is important to understand that even if Tesla is indeed working on such a project, it does not mean the company will present a working quantum supercomputer tomorrow. Most likely, this is a long-term strategy spanning 10 to 20 years. But that is exactly what makes the situation so interesting, because Musk may once again turn out to be the person who started preparing for the next technological revolution earlier than everyone else.